and actor Alec Baldwin's been involved in a freak tragedy on the set of his latest movie in New Mexico. It's alleged he accidentally killed the film's cinematographer and critically injured the director while filming a scene involving a prop gun. It's believed the gun was loaded with blanks. Police are investigating. Well, entertainment correspondent Hyla joins us now to give us the latest on this shock shooting. Hyla, this is such a terrible story, but how could this happen with a prop gun?
That's exactly what everyone is asking themselves. I mean, these incidences are extremely rare here in the U.S. It happened once in the 80s, again in the 90s. If you remember Bruce Lee's son, Brandon Lee, in The Crow, you have people on set whose job it is to specifically look after guns like this. You have a prop master or an armorer. This is why the investigation is still ongoing, and there hasn't been any definitive reason how this happened.
Hyla, this might be a stupid question, but I don't understand how somebody can die at the hands of a prop weapon. I thought they were genuinely not real.
No, it's a really good question. You would think, especially with today's CGI, we wouldn't even need real weapons. The way I understand it is it can be a real weapon with sort of fake bullets in it, but shot at like very close range, or perhaps ricocheting off something else, or shrapnel. But this is just all speculation until we get the final report from the police.
What do we know about Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer who's died?
Yeah, she has a really interesting background. She was born in the Ukraine. She grew up on a Soviet military base in the Arctic Circle. She moved to Europe, where she was a journalist and working on documentaries, eventually making her way to Los Angeles. She has lots of independent films under her belt, and definitely like a rising star in the industry.
Hyla, is there any update on the condition of the director, Joel Souza?
As of right now, there isn't. We know that he went by ambulance to the hospital, not by helicopter. But right now, we have no other details as to his status.
Alec Baldwin must be absolutely devastated. Have we heard from him since the tragedy?
Yeah, so there's been no comment from Alec or his team. There are reports saying that when he was interviewed by the police, he was in tears. And there are some paparazzi photos where we can see him on the phone, clearly distraught.
Alec Baldwin is one of the movie's producers. Does that make him somewhat responsible for on-set safety?
It's an interesting question. How involved really was he as a producer? It is being produced under his production company. There were other producers involved as well. What's interesting and really difficult, not only was he a producer, but he's also the person that fired the gun. But we got to know what happened first before we can make any of these judgments.
What's the likely impact on all of this for the industry? There's been fairly tense negotiations with the unions and the studios recently over things like low pay, long working days, but crucially unsafe sets as well.
That's right. And this is why the investigation is going to be so important. Is like, was the result of this because of long working hours, because the prop master was tired or overworked, or is this just simply a freak accident? Again, it's very, very rare, but it would be such a tragedy if it was because of someone's negligence.
Hyla, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.